Peace, Love, Liberty Radio version 4.1. Initializing upgrades. Accessing peace. Existing without violence, with the ability to calmly resolve conflict. Downloading love. An overwhelming, deep, positive affection towards others. Activating liberty. Living your life as you see fit without infringing on the lives of others.
Ashes to ashes, we're falling down. Slaves to the men that stole the crown. There's a warning sign, like a blazing sun. You don't want to see because you're having fun. But those who control all the information celebrate and lie to the people to keep them watching.
Welcome to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Online at fppradio.com. I am your host, Darryl W. Perry, and this is the Monday show. Yes, I do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, this past Friday, I wound up going to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, went out for the Free Coast Festival. Was the third annual, the first one that I have ever attended. And on Friday evening, there were two options for activities. One could either be part of a pub crawl, or one could go to the Snowden movie with another group of individuals that were all there for the Free Coast Festival. Now, not everybody in the theater was there for the Free Coast Festival, but there was a rather large contingent that was. So I got there and didn't realize, I totally didn't even think of, the movie is separate from the event. I just thought it was, part of the thing. But I got there, and my friend that I showed up with, he said, "Did you buy your tickets yet?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." He said, "Oh, yeah, I bought mine online earlier today." "Oh, okay." So bought a ticket. It was $8, I think, and not bad for going to see a movie. First time I've seen a movie in a long time, or it might have been 11. I really don't know, but whatever. Bought the ticket, went, saw the movie. Really good movie. If you have not yet gone to see the movie Snowden, I highly recommend that you do so, because it's a lot more of sort of a human interest movie about Edward Snowden, the man, than it is, say, like a Citizen 4, where it's all about the different technologies. Now, they do talk about some of the technologies. They definitely talk about X-Keyscore and Prism, and there are some other things, other programs that they talk about. Heartbeat being another one, where the Heartbeat was actually something created by Snowden so that in one place they could see all of the different things that were being done using these different FISA court orders, the secret warrants of "we're spying on you because you used the word 'the' in an email," or whatever. But again, very interesting movie, because as I said, it's the the man Snowden, not just the facts of here's this horrible program and here's this horrible program, but it delves into what was Edward Snowden's relationship with his girlfriend like during this time. And I have to say, there were a couple of times where I got really sad, because it was like, I want this to work out. And then at the end, it does say that apparently Lindsay Mills, his longtime girlfriend, has actually been able to move to Moscow with him. Now, again, people will always ask the question, if Edward Snowden loves freedom so much, why is he in Moscow? Well, because Edward Snowden wasn't trying to go to Moscow. He was not fleeing the United States to go to Moscow. He fled the United States, went to Hong Kong, met with some journalists and a documentary filmmaker in Hong Kong, told his story, gave them information. The news broke of this man leaked this. The media has this information, and they will be, presenting this over a period of time. He then fled fled Hong Kong, got a flight to Moscow. He was hoping to then catch a flight from Moscow to Cuba, and then a flight from Cuba to Ecuador. So Edward Snowden was trying to get to Ecuador for political asylum. But while he was in the air from Hong Kong, the U.S. State Department canceled his passport. The authorities in Moscow would not let him board another plane, and for a period of time, he was actually stuck in the airport in Moscow before he was granted asylum in Russia. So that's why Edward Snowden is in Russia. Has absolutely nothing to do with, he's working for Vladimir Putin. Now, if you were to ask me how many stars, 1 to 5, I would give it 4.75 stars. Not quite a perfect score, because there's, a couple of things at the end that I think should have been changed. But one thing at the end, there is a huge surprise that I will not ruin for you. But definitely, if you are at all interested in Edward Snowden or the things that were done by the NSA, or if you just want, dare I say, there is a love story built into this movie, go watch the film Snowden by Oliver Stone. And yes, I know it's not playing in all of the theaters, so the local theater here in Keene, where I live, not playing the movie. The nearest theater to where I live is about 40 miles away that's playing the movie Snowden. And no, I am not being paid to talk about the movie Snowden. I'm talking about it because it's part of what I did when I went to the Free Coast for the Free Coast Festival. Then on Saturday, there were some speakers in the morning, and then there was a live recording of the Free Coast Freecast. First time I've ever listened to the podcast was during that recording. And then Saturday afternoon, early evening, there was a dinner cruise. Went on a boat up the something another river. I don't know what the river is that's the border between New Hampshire and Maine. But we went up the river instead of going out to sea. So that was kind of interesting. But definitely fun. And then Sunday was Entrepreneur Day. Lots of interesting things happening there. Now, when we come back, I'll jump into version 4.1.
The Doublespeak Dictionary by Leslie Starr O'Hara satirizes the marked difference between the ideal of we the people and the reality of we the elite, while offering an insightful glimpse into the clockworks of the totalitarian mind. Ever irreverent but never irrelevant, the Doublespeak Dictionary serves as a subversive and humorous but timely reminder that the emperor has no clothes. The Doublespeak Dictionary is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Now, before I jump into what I actually brought for show prep, because I don't want to spend, the entire show talking about what I did over the weekend, because that, not going to say it is boring, but some people might not care about the Free Coast Festival. Maybe you didn't show up because you didn't care. Maybe you didn't show up because you had other things going on. Maybe you were partaking in a beer pong tournament on Constitution Day instead of attending the Free Coast Festival. Or maybe you just live on the other side of the country and you're like, I don't want to hear about all the fun Darryl had. Well, I'll change subjects here. But first, I've got a question for you. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? If so, then you need SpendAbit in your arsenal. SpendAbit is the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpendAbit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants, like myself. So keep your money in the free economy. Spend a bit. Use my affiliate link, spendabit.fppradio.com, and if you're a Bitcoin-accepting merchant like I am, ask about their merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.fppradio.com. That's spendabit.fppradio.com. Now, today is kind of a strange day. Yes, it's Monday, and because I, generally do work sort of stuff every day of the week, Mondays generally are not that much different for me. But today is a little different because, well, it's raining, and that kind of messes with my head because of the post-concussion syndrome from having however many concussions I've had. Definitely double digits. I think I'm up to like 16 now. I really don't know. I've lost count of how many head injuries I've had, but I have post-concussion syndrome, and certain weather affects my head differently, and sometimes that causes me to not be motivated. And I know that a lot of other people on Mondays, especially, they're not motivated because they've, relaxed all weekend. And while, I wasn't doing, my typical stuff, I was not relaxing at all. Well, there might have been a little bit of relaxing, but, for the most part, I wasn't relaxing over the weekend. But still, what happens when you need to get motivated? Well, there's an article from archetypes.com that, they explain how to get motivated in 8 proven tips that they say are proven to work. They begin in life, you will always meet challenges and obstacles if you have big goals. There are lots of articles and opinions on how you need to think big, have big goals and dreams, but we often overlook the cost of reaching these goals. Yes, nothing splendid comes easy, and it takes motivation and persistence to reach your goals. Successful people do not always rely on their skills or talent to get the job done. They also retain the right attitude and mindset required to trudge towards their goals. Here's how you can become motivated like successful people. And again, I have talked a good bit about how I define success, and success does not always mean money and fame and lots of women. Certainly, it could be that. Success could also be making sure that all of your bills are paid and that you have some relaxation time. Success for you could be just making sure your bills are paid and you eat 3 meals a day. Success for you could be, paying your bills, spending time with somebody that you love, and, having a vacation once a year. So success is different for everybody, and I'm not going to try defining success for you because you define success for yourself and no one else. So what are these steps on how to get motivated? Step 1, they say, learn to be accountable. It is your responsibility to be successful, they say. You can't continue to play the blame game if you want to become a success. Even when people look down on your accomplishments or your abilities to get a task done, it is up to you to be accountable for the success that you desire. By becoming accountable, you are willing to put in the work required for your dream to come true. Second, they say read motivational material. You could read or listen to motivational material. Such materials have a way of inspiring and uplifting your spirit at your goals, or rather to go at your goals with everything you've got. You can write down some of these thoughts or quotes from influencers on a mirror or in a journal. These reminders will get you in the morning, or rather, will get you going in the morning. I'm not motivated to read every word because, again, I've got the weird headache, but I'm apologies on the missed words in the last couple of paragraphs. They say that these reminders will get you going in the morning as you set out to accomplish your daily tasks. Now, before I continue, I just want to say that, yeah, you can sit down and read motivational material all day long, but unless you actually get up off the couch and do something, you're not actually going to be motivated, and you're not actually going to accomplish whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish. Now, I may have mentioned this a while back. I know I definitely mentioned it when I was in New York City about a week and a half ago. The trolley problem meme. I love trolley problem memes. I'm a fan of that Facebook page. And there was one that they had a couple of weeks ago that was labeled the activist trolley problem. There's a trolley going down a track. And if you do nothing, the trolley will run over an infinite number of people. However, if you pull the lever, the trolley will change course and go down a track that does not hit anyone ever. However, you must get off the couch and walk 5 meters. What do you do? And I laugh at it because there are so many people that do call themselves activists that they think their form of activism is posting on social media. They never get off the couch to actually go do anything, but they call themselves an activist. Well, to be active, you have to get up off the couch and do something. There's more. Stay tuned.
It is the year 91,001 BCE. Witness humanity's origins in Hyperchronius, a classic role-playing game for Windows PCs with a story like no other game before. The liberty-oriented experience that is not to be missed. Go to zog.ninja to get your copy of Hyperchronius today. Use the code FPP to get $1 off. Hyperchronius, zog.ninja, code FPP.
You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerary supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $3 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com.
Hi, I'm Nick Hazelton from the Anarcho-Yakutalism podcast, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Speaking of being active, that is step number 3 on the 8 proven tips to get you motivated. Number 1 is learn to be accountable. 2, read some motivational material, listen to a motivational podcast. But number 3, stay active. Whether mentally or physically, there is a need for you to stay active if you want to be successful. Successful people don't wait for things to happen. They go out and make things happen. Staying healthy and active is important to reaching your goals. From reading books to exercising, learn to push yourself physically and intellectually by being active. Surround yourself with positive people. And this is something that I've been trying to do more and more recently. I will every couple of months go through my friends list on Facebook and delete off either the people that I have no clue who they are, or if people are consistently posting negative stuff, I'll just unfriend, because I don't need more negativity in my life than what there already is. I read enough horrible stuff by looking at the news. I don't need to read people's mean, nasty comments about one another. So I try to surround myself with positive people, and that is step number 4 on, or I don't know if these are steps, but tip number 4 for how to get motivated. They say there are negative and toxic people all around us, but to stay motivated, you have to learn to surround yourself with trustworthy, positive, supportive people who will stay with you unconditionally and bring out the best in you. Envision your future. And now this is where we're getting towards, actually what it is you're being motivated to do. Right? So envision your future. Visualize your future and know why it is essential for you to become successful. Think about what you need to achieve and speak positivity to yourself. Most times achieving your goals could be beneficial not only to you, but also for those that you care about. So visualize and think about the impact you will make. Thus, you can be better motivated to make it happen. And speaking of the future and your goals, be clear about them. Know what you want and why it is important to you. Knowing what you want and what your ideal future will look like, you gain the clarity to achieve the things you desire. You can also avoid those things that are simply distractions and stay motivated on a particular path to success. So, what are your goals? Do you want to make $1 million by the time you're 30? Do you want to have a salary of $1 million a year by the end of next year? Do you want to be the CEO of a company? Do you want to, wind up marrying a superstar? Do you want to become a professional athlete? What are your goals? Be clear about those. And then break down your goals. We've talked about this a good bit on the show, to where you go in, I'm going to clean the kitchen. That could be your goal. You don't need to have this lofty goal. Maybe you have small goals. I'm going to clean the kitchen. You walk in, kitchen's a mess. You don't know where to start. You turn around and walk out. Well, nothing's happened. But if you break the goal down into, I will wash the dishes in the sink, then I will wipe the counters, then I will wipe the stove, then I will sweep the floor, then I will mop the floor. You then have several steps to take. Each one of those, a smaller goal towards the bigger goal. Do you want to make $1 million? Okay, start by thinking, what's the first step you need to do to make $1 million? What's the first step you have to do in order to become a professional athlete? What's the first step you have to do in order to wind up dating Emilia Clarke? And if you don't know who Emilia Clarke is, you are obviously not a Game of Thrones fan, nor did you watch the latest Terminator movie, which I didn't watch the latest Terminator movie. I just know that Emilia Clarke is in it. But if your goal is to date Emilia Clarke, what do you have to do? Well, probably move to Dublin while they're filming Game of Thrones, because that's where they film, although she's probably filming in Spain or somewhere else. So, figure out where she is. And then, find a way to strike up a conversation. And she probably doesn't actually want to talk about Game of Thrones, because she's filming that so much. She probably does not want to hear anybody speak about dragons. And don't, definitely, don't go to Comic-Con and walk up to, I'm a big fan, Khaleesi. Yeah, everybody's a big fan. Nobody wants to date their fans that I'm aware of. I don't know. But break down your goals into smaller things that are easier to achieve and have the right attitude. You need to have the right attitude if you want to be successful. As you work towards your goals, you will make mistakes in the process, but you should also be willing to apologize and learn from your mistakes. When people provide feedback about your actions, learn and use this to take steps in the right direction. And I just realized that I said something kind of stupid when I was talking about breaking down the goals that had nothing to do with breaking down the goals, where I said nobody wants to wind up dating one of their fans. What I meant to say is, I don't think any really famous people want to date their fans. They'll probably hook up with them, the men that will. They'll hook up with the female fans. I don't think it works so much with the female superstars hooking up with the male fans. Don't think it works that way. Stay tuned. There's more.
Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. Coinbase also allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin using a bank account or use their tools to accept Bitcoin as a merchant. Coinbase has more than 1 million consumer wallets and is trusted by over 25,000 merchants, including Overstock.com, Khan Academy, Reddit, and of course, FPP. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Can you believe the show is almost over? I can't. And I think the reason the show is almost over is because the first segment I spent talking about the Free Coast Festival before getting into the more version 4.1, the actual purpose of the show. And I know that some people don't like shows where the hosts go off on tangents, but, it's kind of what I do, right? I talked about the trolley problem meme earlier, but that's the way my brain works, is I'll start going down a path, and then if I continue going down the path, then X, but if I pull the lever, then Y, and, well, why not? And then I pull the lever, and then I go down this other path, and then ultimately, something happens, and I'm like, oh, right, I should have been on this track, and then pull another lever, and somehow I magically get to the other track, right? I think that's how it works anyway. But something that I know works is Purse. And you can save with Purse when you go to savewithpurse.com. Now, what you do is you sign up there at savewithpurse.com, and then you go to your Amazon account, and you put things in your Amazon wish list, and then you import that wish list to your Purse account. You fund your Purse account with Bitcoin, and you can save 10, 15, 20, 25% or more if you want at Purse. Savewithpurse.com. I placed a couple orders last week. Saved 14% on one, 17% on the other. And the way Save with Purse works is once you place an order of over $50 US, then both me and you wind up getting a bonus of an amount of Bitcoin. Thank you, Purse. SaveWithPurse.com. Now, if you don't want to use Bitcoin to save with Purse, well, begin your shopping at shop.fppradio.com. There are links for Amazon. There's Amazon US, Amazon, I think Canada, UK, and several others that are all there, plus a few other affiliate links. One of those I actually need to wind up removing because I did have an affiliate link with Virgin Mobile, which is my cell phone carrier I've been with for well over a decade. And they, for the long time, had an affiliate referral thing. They just got rid of that, and they sent me an email a few days ago about that. So I need to remove that from shop. But begin your shopping at shop.fppradio.com. And don't forget, every Wednesday I answer your questions. Send those over ama@fppradio.com.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copy Heart. We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News, and also get a copy of the monthly newspaper FPP News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.